Hello, people. Welcome back. And before I begin, I want to ask two important questions and I want you to think about it honestly. Question number one. Have you ever felt that you don't need a travel manager and you can do everything online on your own? And second, have you ever faced any flight cancellations or delay or no refund, no support, and didn't know what to do? Are you one of them? Most probably, as far as I know, the answer would be yes, because all of us somewhere always want to do everything on our own. So the answer to the question one would be yes. And mostly even for the second, it would be yes, because, if not us, maybe in our family, in our friends, we would have had somebody who has faced this entire issue. So this brings me to the important topic, which is why are travel managers still relevant in the online booking, in the era of online booking? Like, how do we really matter, or are we still relevant? Today I'm going to talk about that only. But before we begin, I am not here to sugarcoat anything and present it to you. All I'm going to tell you is about my real experiences of having been an independent travel manager for almost 3 years now, and how closely I look at this profession and what does this really mean. So it's not a sale pitch that I'm trying to convince you to buy anyone's service or anything. It's just an honest opinion which I would be explaining it to my friends over coffee. So it's the same. So welcome. This is your host Arpita, and on my channel, which is Dreamport Journey with Arpita. And today I'm going to talk about why travel managers are still important in the age of online booking. Mostly people misunderstand this profession. They feel that what does a travel manager do? They just simply, book the ticket by clicking two buttons here and there, and that's it. Voila, the ticket is done. I mean, this is belittling someone's effort. Why I'm telling you is because the minute people think about this in such a way, it means that you are saying that the doctor just reads the prescriptions or the teacher is just reading through the slides. But that's not the truth. The reality is, far better than this, because I go through the reality every day. There is a whole invisible layer of work that we are going through and we are doing every single day as travel manager. So now you must be thinking, Arpita, if this is not what you do, what exactly do you do? So that's what I'm catering to now. What do we do? Like, what are the things that the travel manager really caters to? So when I say that, there is a whole invisible layer of work, that means that what I'm trying to tell you is, to me, travel manager is a person who understands what the client would need and would also look out for, situations or things before they happen. So for an example, when we plan to give a coach to the client, or we are supposed to send them a travel itinerary, we have to first look at, the connections. Are the connections really risky? Which I'm sure people who are working here or whoever are working in the travel space would understand that any connection to larger airports like JFK, Chicago, San Antonio, Houston, Washington, Dallas, Atlanta, for less than 2 hours would definitely imply that the passenger is going to miss their connecting flight. You know why? Because these are such a huge airport. So, the passengers cannot change one terminal to another terminal in short span of time. So we have to look that the connections are not risky. We have to check whether, what are the fare rules, because now we have so many fare rules with basic economy to flex and so on and on. You need to understand, usually 90% of the time when the passengers are booking a cheaper ticket, they would definitely opt for basic economy, which means that the fare is non-refundable, non-deductible, non-transferable and non-exchangeable. So you have to look at the fare rules also. You also have to look, what if the flight is delayed? Do you have an alternative option for that particular day? Like, is there any other flight? Will the passenger get a hotel accommodation, or would they be stranded at the airport? Then you need to look at, do they really need transit visas? Now, basically what happens is, at Dreamport, we do not give any consultation for visa documentations or anything. But having said that, there are people who are traveling to Africa, and when they go via Europe, usually when there are two halts in Europe, the flights would always be much cheaper than what it's available in the market. But the problem is, people don't understand, when you have two stops in Europe for Africa route, that means that you would definitely need a transit visa. And irrespective whether we deal with the visa documentations or not, we are supposed to tell this information to the customer. So, he is making an informed decision in that case. Then, is the airline reliable? There are certain times where that certain airline is going through a bad phase, or they have a lot of flight cancellations or flight delays because your previous clients have traveled. And if not, you still get, you get daily updates about any airline, or if there's some mishap or anything happening. So, so you have to take care of everything. So having said that, it's just not the booking that the travel managers do, but they watch out for the chaos before it happens. There's a whole lot of chaos behind the planning, behind the quote that you're going to send to the customer. So it's not that we are just, clicking the buttons and doing the booking. No, we do a hell lot of thing here. Apart from that, now, honestly speaking, online bookings are great. Like, they're awesome. I have myself used it a couple of times, but they are great until everything goes perfectly. But my dear, we are talking about travel, and travel does not live in a perfect world, right? You would have flight cancellations, you would have flight delays, people make mistakes, plan changes, and during when all of these things happen, like for an example, I would like to highlight, I once had a PAX who wanted to book a certain route with me, and he wanted it for an X fare. When he came to me, he told me that, Arpita, this is what I'm getting online. And when I gave him the offer, the option was like quite expensive. And he said, no, I'm getting it online and I'll go ahead with them. I said, all right, it's up to you. And in that, in that moment of the, seeing that such a cheap fare, he went ahead and he booked the ticket online. Unfortunately, he did not see the dates. He booked it for May, whereas he had to travel for June. And May, he had his daughter's exam. And in fact, I was also surprised at how come online he is finding it for a cheaper price when I am searching, I do not get. But then I understood that he was checking for some other date. After some point in time, he realized that he made a mistake. And then he was going back and forth with the online platform where he booked, and he could not get any solution because unfortunately he booked a compromised fare, which is a restrictive fare. Then he came back to me and he said, now I understood the value of travel manager, because if I would have booked it with you, you would have reconfirmed the dates, the route, the names and everything. And the mistakes would not have happened in the first place. So this is what I'm saying, that when all of these things happens, people don't need a chat bot to tell you that, you need to do this, that, you need to, don't need to go back and forth to get a human interaction. All they need at that point in time is somebody to listen to, somebody to care for, somebody to understand, and somebody to help them out somehow. So what I have realized about this profession is it's not a slow pace, it's a fast paced thing, because you're mentally busy all the time. You're juggling between the messages, between the client requests, between follow-ups, between pressure, and you're getting blamed for things that are not even in your control, the last minute changes, because anytime you call up the customer, the customer would have changed their plan. Now the dates are changed. Now the route is changed, or people have been added. So again, you have to redo the entire thing. And, on top of that, people ghost you. So, you need to do constant follow-ups to get in touch with them. So, this is what I'm trying to tell you, that it is not going to be cute and aesthetic all the time. This require a lot of, patience, a lot of responsibility. You need to be on your toe. You need to be resilient enough to, push back through everything and just be there. So the best part, what I admire about this profession is, the human side of it, because here you're not dealing with, you're not helping somebody to just pick a coffee date or something, but you are helping with the real time, lifetime emotions, Here everything is raw, because people are traveling for somebody's funeral, people are traveling for job related travels, they are traveling for students are traveling for visas or maybe for exams, they're traveling for their honeymoon. So all of this is raw emotion, and that matters, and which is why I think that this profession should get more respect than it deserves. Having said all this, but like I said, that because clients can be impatient, people can be stressed, and the flights can be cancelled or anything can be done. So during all of these things, you just need somebody who can listen to you, who can understand. So I think travel managers are not outdated. We are very much here. And right now, I think the way I look at this profession, it has become more of, problem solving. It has evolved. So it's not about selling tickets anymore, but it's about providing solutions, managing risks, and solving problems. So yes, when somebody asks me, Arpita, do you really think that travel managers are relevant in the age of online booking? I always tell them, hell yes, we do matter. You know why? Because website can show you the options, but they cannot care for you. They cannot and will not listen to you, and they cannot take responsibility when things fall apart. It's only us who can always be there. So I think we are relevant now more than ever. So yes, I am happy to share the experience that I have seen here in the past 3 years. And if this video has even for a minute changed your mind about this profession or about travel manager, my work is done. So thank you so much for watching, and I would love to hear your thoughts or your comments about the same. Wish you all the best and have a good day until the next video. Bye bye. Arpita here.